A blessed day to everyone, especially to our prop, Miss Alexis Alcantara. I am Bernard Reyes from BSc 3-3 and I'm here to discuss the topic that was all about the RA 7160 or the Local Government Code of 1991. Specifically, I will only tackle the Book 3 or the Local Government Units, particularly the Chapter 7, which is the Katarungan Pambarangay, also known as the Barangay Justice System. But before we proceed to the topic, so here's a short quote from Mr. Mahatma Gandhi which says that peace is not the absence of conflict but the ability to cope with it. Which this quote conveys an idea that yes, there is a peace but it doesn't mean that there is no disagreement or challenges, in a scenario or in life. But this quote conveys in how we manage and resolve conflicts. It points out how we act to that problem to make peace. So the objective of this discussion is that know the definition of Katarungan Pambarangay and understand its purpose and significance in the Philippine legal system. Number 2, identify the key features and process outlined in Chapter 7 of RA 7160 and recognize the roles and responsibilities of barangay officials in the context of alternative dispute resolution. And number 3, analyze the impact of Katarungan Pambarangay on social harmony and conflict resolution at community level. So, I think this topic will be easy to us, or for you to understand, because what I know is you are familiar from Katarungan Pambarangay, because as I remember, we tackled this in our PCJS, So, what is Katarungan Pambarangay? Katarungan Pambarangay, also known as the Barangay Justice System, is an alternative mechanism of the Philippine legal system for settling disputes at the barangay level. So, this encourages disputing parties to settle amicably with the assistance of their local official, such as the barangay captain and the lupon tagapamayapa or lupon. So, from the word itself, barangay level, So, we consider the barangay or the Katarungan Pambarangay as the court here, So, but there is no conviction. Yan po yung kaibahan sa ating barangay court at saka sa formal court, There is no conviction. Instead, we aid the conflicting parties to reconcile their arguments and not bring this case to the court. Ayan, so dagdag pa rito, so barangay lupon, when it comes to barangay lupon and barangay captain, so they are not considered as the judge because there is no conviction here. There is no judge, but rather lupon and barangay captain are considered as the mediator and facilitator of the amicable settlement. So usually the cases or disputes that were being settled here were either the disputes between, like for example, me and my neighbor. Halimbawa na lang, chinismis pala ako nitong kapitbahay namin, ganito. Ayan, pwede mong paghabulan yan, pwede mong ireklamo yun sa barangay if ever napatunayan mo na ito pala sinabi mo sa akin, tara magharap tayo sa barangay, gano'n. Bullet, for the cases that are covered by the Katarungan Pambarangay, it is compulsory for the parties to go through mediation and or conciliation proceeding before going to court. So, bawal tayong dumiretso sa korte, sa formal court. Bakit di nyo pagkasunduan sa barangay muna, bago sa korte? What will happen when you go directly to court without referring to the barangay? So, it will dismiss. Mababasura lang yung mga claims nyo, sa isa't isa. Mababasura yung kasong gusto nyong ihain. Hindi kayo papansinin ng korte. Kasi, kaya nyo na yan sa dapat ni-refer nyo muna yan sa barangay. So, as a general rule, all cases need to be referred to the barangay for conciliation or mediation, except when the case or dispute was included in the exemptions. So, when it comes to our lupon, so lupon tagapamayapa is a body of men or women created to settle disputes within the barangay level. So, how it is constituted, paano nga ba siya binubuo, Ayan. So, step 1. So, here, so in Constitution of the Lupong Tagapamayapa, this happened every 3 years. And in that 3 years, the elected barangay chairman, or the captain works on creating the Lupong Tagapamayapa. Of course, when it comes to appointing lupon, we need to choose members who foster a good character and image in the barangay. Ang hirap naman kung ang i-appoint ng kapitan, yung batugan, yung tamad, walang trabaho. yung basagulero pa, paano niya mapapagbate, no? Paano niya makukumbinsing mapagbate yung dalawang panig na nag-aaway, gano'n naman pala ang image ng lupon niya, ano? So, ayan, dapat nagpo-foster ng good character and image in the barangay, and who are also responsible and will work on their duties and function. Ano? Ayan. So for our step 2, within 15 days from the start of the term as a barangay captain, he or she should issue a notice to constitute the lupon and prepare the list of the names of proposed lupon members. So in this notice to constitute the lupon, no, the barangay secretary and barangay captain must posted it in 3 conspicuous or strategic places in the barangay. Why? For the people to know who are the possible person or people will be appointed. So in step 3, so ayan, members of the barangay or residents can protest or recommend somebody from the barangay. So ayun nga, no, it allows the residents to raise any concern or objection to proposed members, which ensures that the lupon is composed of individuals trusted by the community, no? So, same as the notice, the list of appointed lupon will be being posted also in 3 prominent places again. So, in step 5 and step 6, the newly appointed lupon members will immediately take their oath before the barangay captain. After taking the oath of office, the list of lupon members shall be posted in a conspicuous strategic place in the barangay. So, when it comes to terms of office, lupon member o lupon tagapamayapa has a 3 years of term unless these are the cases that can be terminated, no, that the lupon member can be terminated. It's either because of death, resignation, transfer of residence or place of work, or withdrawal of appointment by the barangay captain. However, the withdrawal should be concurred with a majority of all members of lupon. In the event of vacancy in the lupon, so the punong barangay is tasked with appointing a qualified individual again to fill that position. So some of you may ask, may sahod ba ang lupon? May sahod ba ang lupon member? So, here, compensation and benefits. Lupon member shall serve without compensation. So, meaning, walang sahod po ang lupon member. So, but, they are considered person in authority under the revised penal code, which gives them legal protection and respect. So, yan lamang po ang matatanggap o maaaring matanggap ng lupon. Dahil nga persons of authority siyang masasabi, meron siyang legal protection and respect na makukuha sa mga tao. Yan. Depende na rin sa pag-uugali ng lupon, no? So, ayan. If the barangay has enough funds, honoraria may be given. So, this means that, para bang consideration na lang pala sa kanila, kumbaga bilang ganti na lamang sa kanilang serbisyo, magbibigay na lang ng award. Functions of lupon. So, the lupon shall exercise administrative supervision over the conciliation panel provided herein. So, meaning, lupon has to ensure the effective resolution of dispute. And number 2, lupon shall meet regularly once a month to provide a forum for exchange. So, this forum of lupon tagapamayapa members, they are sharing ideas among its members and the public matters on relevant to amicable settlement of disputes. So, it enabling them for various conciliation panel member to share their observation. Ano nga ba yung kailangan i-improve? Ano nga ba yung mga magagandang nagawa natin, no? What are the experiences, no, of them affecting them to improve a speedy resolution for another disputes that they will resolve in the barangay. No? So, in the third bullet, lupon shall exercise such other powers and perform such other duties and function as may be prescribed by law or ordinance. So, in this, no, they ensure that the role remains adaptable to community needs. So, what if they need legal advice? So, note that class, in the conciliation forum, lawyers are not allowed because it is not a formal court. Wala namang paglilitis o wala namang kailangang tanggulan, no, dito sa barangay court. But if some circumstances or cases needs to have a legal advice on matters involving questions of law, yes, the barangay captain, lupon, or pangkat can seek legal advice. So, kailangan naman talaga yan dahil hindi naman lahat ng nakaupo sa posisyon ay alam ang lahat. No? Kailangan ng barangay captain, lupon, or pangkat ng legal assistance para nang sa ganon ay mas mapaganda pa nila yung pagre-resolba sa barangay ng mga disputes. No? Pangkat tagapamayapa. So, how it is different to our lupon tagapamayapa? So, pangkat tagapamayapa shall act as the conciliation panel. It also referred to as the pangkat in short. It shall be composed of 3 members chosen from the members of the lupon. They shall choose from among the 3 of them the pangkat chairman and pangkat secretary. The pangkat shall be constituted whenever dispute is brought before the court. Exemptions. The lupon cannot mediate disputes if one of the parties involved is the government or its subdivision. So, for example, you are a motorcycle rider and you are driving in the roads of municipality of Gentry, and then suddenly you didn't notice that there is an open manhole. And anong nangyari? Hindi mo nga napansin. Dinaanan mo. And then so nagsemplang ka. And it caused you to have an injury. So, you have the right to file case against that, no, against that municipality. The next is one of the parties is a public officer or employee and the dispute is related to their official function. So here, no, may dalawa tayong faction nga, no. Meron pala tayong dalawa. So isa sa government mismo yung kinumplain mo. Pangalawa, public officer na hindi naman ginampanan yung kanyang trabaho bilang isang official. So, offenses punishable by imprisonment exceeding 1 year or fine exceeding 5,000. So, direct to the court na to. Kasi, ito yung mga example nung kapag rape, kapag murder, since the penalty was above, di diretso sa korte talaga yan. Kaiba na yan. There is no private individual affected by the offense. So, the example in this is the jaywalking, sidewalk bending, or prostitution. Like, there is no offended party here. Ayan, the dispute involves properties located in different cities or municipality unless the parties agrees to settle in one barangay. The disputing parties live in different barangay from different cities or municipality unless the barangay are next to each other and the parties agrees to settle the matter in one barangay. So, the President in the interest of justice or the Secretary of Justice may determine other types of disputes that cannot be handled by the lupon. So, bukod pa dito sa mga exemptions na to, merong alam yung Secretary of Justice na ito palang kaso na to, hindi dapat talaga dito sa korte. Pwede pa itong mapag-usapan sa lupon. Yan, pwede nilang sabihin yan. Or, ayan, if a non-criminal case which the lupon is not authorized to handle is brought to court, the judge can refer the case to the lupon for amicable settlement before the trial begins to encourage peaceful resolution. So, in terms of venue for amicable settlement, it is based on the case may be. So, number 1 is the same barangay. If the people involved in the dispute live in the same barangay, they must go to the conciliation body of the barangay for settlement. Number 2 is different barangay, same city or municipality. If the parties live in the different barangays but they are still within the same city or municipality, the dispute should be settled in the barangay where the respondent or the complainant lives. And number 3 is real property disputes. If the dispute involves real property, land or buildings, the case should be taken to the barangay where the property is located. If the property spans multiple areas, it will be bought to the barangay where the largest part of the property is located. Number 4, workplace or school disputes. If the dispute arises, so yung case should be brought to the barangay where the workplace or institution is located. So in forms of amicable settlement, so kailangan naman talaga na dapat ay kung ano yung salita nyo, diba, dito sa barangay na to, Tagalog naman kayo. Hindi, Tagalog ang ilagay nyo kung saan maiintindihan o mas maiintindihan ng dalawang partido yung pinag-usapan. Ayan. So in procedure of amicable settlement, number 1 is filing of complaint. There is a minimal filing fee. It can be, no? But in our barangay kasi, wala naman, no? Personal compensation is required. Ayan, note that in all katarungang pambarangay proceeding, the parties must appear in person without the assistance of counsel or representative except for minors and incompetents who may be assisted by next of kin who are not lawyers. Ayan, sabi naman talaga natin na hindi naman kailangan talaga ng lawyer, no? So, after the filing of complaint, ayan, number 2, mediation of lupon. So, complaint is received. Na-receive na yung complaint. And then, ayan, after that, the lupon will within 1 working day, summon both the complainant and the respondent along with their witness. So, for mediation yan, no? So, the chairman will try to help them to reach an agreement within 15 days. And if this fail, if the mediation fail, the chairman will then form a pangkat for conciliation panel to take over that, no? So, there are 2 levels para nang sa ganon, masubukan na masettle yung case between the parties, no? 2 level yan. Unang harapan, then pangalawang harapan. Ganon ang mangyayari. Number 3, suspension time limits. While the dispute is being mediated or handled by the pangkat, the time limits or prescriptive periods for filing legal action are paused. Ibig sabihin lamang po nito, no? Habang nasa proseso kayo ng amicable settlement sa barangay, hindi ka pwedeng mag-file ng kaso sa korte, no? Hindi mo pwede. Kaya nga kayo nagkaroon ng amicable settlement Kaya nga pinaghaharap kayo dun sa barangay. So dito muna tayo sa summons and hearing. So the pangkat must meet within 3 days of being formed to hear both parties and their witness. If one of the parties feel that a pangkat member is biased or has a conflict of interest, they can request their disqualification. If the pangkat agrees, a new member will be chosen. Ayan. So, in number 5, time for settlement. So, the pangkat must reach a settlement or decision within 15 days. In some cases, if necessary, they can extend this period for another 15 days, but only if there are good reason for doing so. So, dito na mangyayari yung settlement nung problema. Ano ba nangyari, no? So, after amicable settlement, the arbitration process will come up where the parties involved in a dispute can agree in writing to accept the decision made by either the lupon chairman or the pangkat at any time during the proceeding. So, ito na nga, no, what if both parties did not have an agreement? So, we have what we call the transmittal of settlement and arbitration award to court. Nangyayari kasi dito, kaya nga hindi tayo, hindi pwedeng mag-diretso sa court yung both parties habang nasa proseso sila ng amicable settlement. Kasi nga, ito pa malalaman sa pinakahuli kung sakasakaling hindi sila maging okay, ay eto nga, si barangay secretary, si barangay captain ang bahala na maggawa ng endorsement letter kung gusto nilang iakyat ito sa korte. Pagkatapos po ng amicable settlement, hindi pa po doon natatapos yung duties ng barangay official, kundi there is a duties of barangay official after transmittal of settlement and arbitration, no? So, after that, the punong barangay as a chairman of the Lupong Tagapamayapa and the members of the pangkat are hereby authorized to administer oath in connection with any matter relating to all proceeding in the implementation of Katarungang Pambarangay. Aside from that, the city or municipal mayor, as the case may be, shall see the efficient and effective implementation and administration of the Katarungang Pambarangay. Moreover, the Secretary of Justice shall promulgate the rules and regulations necessary to implement this chapter. Lastly, in appropriations such as an amount as may be necessary for the effective implementation of Katarungang Pambarangay shall be provided for in the annual budget of the city or municipality concerned. Ayan, sa pagdating sa ganyan, sa Katarungang Pambarangay, syempre kailangan din natin ng appropriation, kumbaga transparency na rin kung ilan nga ba yung nagamit na papel, ilan nga ba yung budget na nagamit dito sa Katarungang Pambarangay. Ayan. So what are the impacts of Katarungan Pambarangay on our social harmony and conflict resolution? So according to Maro 2020, the Katarungan Pambarangay promotes social harmony and resolves conflicts at the community level through informal mediation, allowing parties to communicate and avoid legal disputes. Totoo naman po yan, no? So these systems prevents conflict from escalating and strengthening community cohesion. It operates at the barangay level, providing easy access for community members to resolve disputes without the cost or complexity of formal courts. So the involvement of local leaders boost confidence and participation, ayan, of the community. So, talaga namang malaking tulong talaga yung mediation procedure ng Katarungan Pambarangay para na sa ganun, magkaroon naman tayo ng kapayapaan sa ating barangay, no? At saka hindi na rin magdag sa backlogs ng formal court, no? Napakahirap, no? So, in our conclusion in this topic, no, Katarungan Pambarangay plays an important role in the Philippine justice system because it provides an accessible, informal, inexpensive, and community-centered approach to dispute resolution. Through the participation of local leaders and community members, this empowered peace and cooperation while also easing the burden of the formal court. By developing the skills of the barangay handling minor disputes, succeeds in promoting swift and cost-effective resolution that reflect the values and customs of barangay communities. However, its limitation, particularly in handling serious cases, highlight the need for continuous improvements in training and resource for local officials to maximize its effectiveness. Overall, the Katarungan Pambarangay remains a very valuable tool for promoting peace, unity, legal awareness, and community engagement in grassroots justice. So for my recommendation, improving the Katarungan Pambarangay in particular municipality is number 1, continuous training and program for barangay official and Lupon members. So in doing this, we can collaborate on school, NGO, or to the government itself that has a connection to lawyers that can help our official to gain knowledges and skills in alternative dispute resolution. And number 2, strong collaboration between local government units and the Department of Justice. Just what I said earlier, no? Ayan, in the first bullet, no? We should establish to provide barangay, no, resources and legal support, no, ensuring the proper handling of disputes, particularly those involving complex legal issues. Ayan, so napakahirap kasi talaga pagka ganung wala masyadong kaalaman or hindi kulang pa ng kaalaman ang barangay official about sa mga legal issues, no. Ayan, kailangan talaga nating magkaroon ng training para nang sa ganun mas mapagyabong pa yung kanilang kakayahan na maintindihan ang lahat ng mga disputes na inilalapit sa kanila. Ayan, so number 3 is the promote greater public awareness campaigns to educate citizens about the Katarungan Pambarangay. So, this can be fulfilled using our social media platforms, posting PubMats, videos, and infographics that may inform the citizens in the barangay. And number 4, lastly, ensuring that these practices align with national laws and human rights standards, particularly in handling cases involving marginalized groups. So these are the credible sources of information or references that I have used to justify my claims in this topic. And that's the end of my presentation. I hope you learned something and thank you for listening.